If you're looking for a show that pulls on your heartstrings, The Blacklist is the show for you. From character deaths to close relationships coming to an end, this show will have you feeling all the feels. Mr. Kaplan's death? What about Elizabeth? Stay tuned until the end of the video for the show's saddest moment. Here are the top 10 most heartbreaking moments in The Blacklist. First up is number 10, Elizabeth's funeral. Elizabeth's funeral in season 3 is a mournful moment, and it's a perfect choice to start off our list, especially considering our number 1 pick at the end of the video. While she staged her death, the task force and viewers don't know that yet. The most upsetting part of the funeral is Aram tearfully struggling to get through his eulogy for the fallen Elizabeth. Even though Elizabeth isn't really dead, it's still painful to watch Aram and the rest of the task force grieve and try to cope with losing their friend and partner. Their deep sorrow is genuine, which makes her death more believable to everyone else. Funeral scenes always make us think about the loved ones we've lost and the memories they leave behind. Does this moment make your list? Let us know down in the comments. Next up is number 9, Dembe and Reddington part ways. Dembe's loyalty to Reddington is put to the test when he keeps it a secret that Elizabeth was responsible for sending Reddington to prison, nearly costing him his life. Although Reddington forgives Dembe, Dembe can't return the favor and believes it is best if they go their separate ways. Their friendship was always a core element of the show, and seeing them part ways and for their bond to be threatened felt wrong and deeply upsetting. Their bond was thought to be unshakable. After they severed their ties, fans hoped that they would reunite, and luckily for them, Dembe returns later on in the series, and the two repair their relationship. That helps soften the blow of this otherwise devastating moment. Where does the scene land on your list? Moving on to number 8, Dembe's granddaughter gets kidnapped by Matthias Solomon. In an exhilarating season 3 kickoff, Liz and Red are on the run for the murder of the Attorney General. The audience learns that Matthias Solomon has kidnapped Dembe's granddaughter to gain leverage over Reddington. More tension is added when we learn that Matthias Solomon has released a deadly nerve agent inside Dembe's granddaughter and will only provide the antidote if he cooperates. He assures Dembe that it will be a slow and agonizing demise. It's always tragic when innocents get caught in the crossfire, and it really pulls on the heartstrings when children are involved. Solomon is truly the type of villain that we love to hate, and we can't help but sympathize with Dembe's position. What a way to start the season. Now for our number 7, Red kills Kaplan. Once Kaplan betrayed Red, most of us saw this coming, including Kaplan herself. Still, the scene was shocking and gratifying at the same time. While Kaplan argues unapologetically for what she did was in Red's best interest, it's already too late. Even if Red can forgive Kaplan, she can no longer be trusted. Ultimately, her fate is as good as sealed. Red brings Kaplan out to a beautiful acre of land and gifts it to her for all eternity, shooting Kaplan in the head and ending her life. Or so we thought. A few moments later, we see Mr. Kaplan's hand start to move. In a shocking twist, she has survived the attack. Stay tuned because her actual death is later on our list. This one is tough. Number 6, Aram and Samar's phone call. Alright, who's chopping the onions? The tears are definitely flowing during Samar and Aram's heartbreaking phone call. She's leaving without him, and they both know it may be the last time they see each other. Aram is devastated that he is not able to go with her. He is worried about who will take care of her if something happens to him, and he fears that he may never see her again. Samar wants to keep Aram safe, and promises that she will not forget him as her memory fades. She will not let him slip away. The scene packs a punch, and so does Aram when he punches Reddington in the face at the end of the scene. The phone call is one of the most emotional moments in The Blacklist. It is full of heartbreak, love, and regret, and it leaves listeners reaching for the tissue box. Sometimes, love means having to say goodbye. We're halfway through our list, so don't dry those tears just yet. Stay tuned because we're going to break down the show's most heartbreaking moments at the end of the video. But first, at number 5, Mr. Kaplan loses the love of her life. We've always known Mr. Kaplan as the dedicated friend and then foe of Reddington. But before Mr. Kaplan, there was Kate. The aptly named episode Requiem gave us a glimpse into her tragic past and reveals the meaning behind her moniker, Mr. Kaplan. We learn about Kate's love for her soulmate, Annie Kaplan. This setup only serves to break fans' hearts as the two are shot and struggle to save each other. It's difficult to watch the two hobble and collapse, and viewers know that Kate survives to live with the heartache and loss. It remains one of the most powerful episodes of the show. Now, on to number 4, the death of Glenn Carter and actor Clark Middleton. The heartbreak at this moment transcends the show itself and touches real-life loss. Clark Middleton, who played Glenn, had passed away from the West Nile virus months before the episode aired, and his death was written into the show. The episode, The Wellstone Agency, served as a tribute to Glenn and to the actor who played him. It showed Reddington's shock and grief at the loss of his friend, and it also showcased the strong bond between Glenn and Reddington. The episode was a beautiful and fitting tribute to both the character and to Clark Middleton himself. The fact that the episode reflected a real-world loss made it all the more bittersweet. Farewell, friend. Now, for the top 3 saddest moments, starting with number 3, Mr. Kaplan's death. The fact that Mr. Kaplan takes up multiple spots on this list is a testament to how great her character truly was. When Mr. Kaplan died in the season 4 finale of The Blacklist, it was a shocking moment for fans of the show. Red admits that he never should have shot her for the first time and refuses to shoot her on the bridge. At first, it seems like a celebratory moment for Red's growth as a character, but Kaplan refuses to go to jail and tells Raymond that she loved him before jumping to her death. Fans and characters alike hold their breath and watch every moment as she plunges into the water below. This time, she doesn't survive. Mr. Kaplan believed her death was the only way to expose the truth about Reddington. She was a character of conviction who was willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to do what she felt was right. It was truly a fitting end to a fan favorite and one of the saddest Blacklist moments. Speaking of fans, they'll remember this one. Coming in at number 2, Tom and Elizabeth are rushed to the hospital. Alright, some of you were probably expecting this to be the number 1 moment. Honestly, it was a close call. In a heartbreaking but tender scene, Tom and Elizabeth are rushed to the hospital after being brutally beaten by Ian Garvey and his men. Their lives are fading as they profess their love for one another and how grateful they are for each other. Due to the severity of the injuries, it is unclear if either of them will survive. Elizabeth wakes up in the hospital and learns that Tom didn't make it. The scene is made even more emotional by the haunting cover of Sounds of Silence playing in the background. Honestly, bittersweet moments like this are why we watch television. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, number 1, Elizabeth's death. We're all still feeling the sting of Elizabeth Keene's death in the 8th season of The Blacklist. For us, it's the most heartbreaking moment of the series. After years of watching her fight to learn the truth about her past and suffering through multiple close calls, it felt like all of the show's sacrifices were for nothing when she was shot and killed in the finale. Reddington and many other characters had fought hard to protect her over the years, but in the end, they were all unsuccessful. Elizabeth's death leaves her daughter without a mother, continuing a sad cycle. The montage of flashbacks during her final moments left fans in pools of tears. Was it all for nothing? Her death also raised questions about Reddington and her mother that are left unanswered in the final moments. Fans will be thinking about this moment for years to come. But there you have it. That concludes our list of the most heartbreaking moments in The Blacklist. Did we miss one? Let us know in the comments and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. And remember, it's okay to cry.